Yes, this is Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you from the hot lead zone. And you know, all you shooters and reloaders out there, you can surprise your family with a delicious meal of Jook. So what do you do with after Thanksgiving turkey carcasses? And a lot of people make soups and things like this. But let me show you what Asians do with the turkey carcasses, and that is to make delicious Jook. And so you take your turkey carcass and you throw it into a nice pot, add the vegetables of your choice. About using this pressure cooker to make Jook.
Pressure cooker makes things so much faster. I mean, you just have to put it all in there at once, throw in your aromatics, and then just put in enough water to cover. This is one 15-pound turkey carcass, so it's a pretty big carcass with a little bit of meat left on and stuff. But in the pressure cooker, you can make an entire pot of stock in an hour and a half, whereas on the stove, it'll take you hours.
All right, so how full are you going to do that?
I'll fill it up to the 16 cup mark.
Okay, and then into the pressure cooker it goes. So the time is going slow because of the pressure, right?
Right, so this is a pressure cooker, an electric pressure cooker. What do I favor? There are the old-timey ones that go on top of the stove, and there are historical accounts of people accidentally opening them or not having a correct seal. Next thing you know, the top blows off and embeds in the kitchen ceiling. The electric ones are pretty consistent and also have some safety mechanisms. So as you recall, I had the turkey carcass plus the aromatics in there, plus 16 cups of, at best, lukewarm, but probably more cold water. So then it has to come all the way to boil, create the pressure with the valve that is closed before it starts the time.
Very good. And you got it on high pressure, I see. High pressure. We're talking about pressure issues, and that's something all of us shooters know all about. Pressure. Except, where's the primer signs here?
So, our time is gone. I have loosened all the pressure out of there, so it's now safe to open. Easy unlock. Look at that rich broth. It's actually stock, it has bones in it, so. Okay, so, you gotta carefully pick this up. Now, all this stuff has served its purpose, and now I'm gonna strain it out. Like so. Okay? We'll leave that to drain. Use that same pot right back into. Okay? I'm now going to put it on my saute mode. And now we're going. A teeny bit of olive oil. Let that heat for a second. Well, the pot's still pretty hot. I have one diced onion. Dump it on in there. Wait for the sizzling to happen. You know, we're using up our leftover Thanksgiving turkey, so that's where that turkey carcass is from. So this is probably about 4 or 5 cups of turkey, of chopped turkey. You can shred it, but I just cube it, I just chop it up roughly.
And this, of course, is leftovers from Thanksgiving dinner. And then we have pepper, and there's salt, and jasmine rice. Onions are sauteing nicely in there.
Yeah, we're not looking to really get any color on them or anything like that. You know, this is essentially going to be, Jook is basically a porridge or a really thick soup, and so we don't need to caramelize them or anything. We're just really kind of sweating them off, right? If you wanted to add a tiny pinch of salt, it's going to help increase that sweating, right? So when I've got it, it smells nice. When I've got it enough where I want it, like so, in goes the old turkey, like that. Just toss it in there. Now this is leftover turkey. My family, we fry the turkey. We deep fry the turkey. So that's some pretty yummy turkey in there. And also I put the skin in there as well. Boneless. I've used the bones for the stock. Again, not trying to get color on this, but just kind of warming it up putting in there like so. When I'm ready, out comes the rice. Now I got this really cool container which holds my rice, and the lid, and it's a porter container, the lid is the measuring cup. Cool, right? So then I just pour the rice in there. I prefer jasmine, that's my favorite rice, but I'm doing 1, 2.5 lids worth.
Now, can you also put in already cooked rice?
You sure can, and it'll be even faster. Here we are in a pressure cooker, so instead of having to stir this pot of jook cooking on the stove for hours as the rice cooks down and breaks down into the not separate grains anymore, but kind of like a general mush, right? The pressure cooker does it way faster. So it actually doesn't matter. If you have leftover rice, you can use that. It'll just be even faster. You can use brown rice. You can use short grain rice. I've even made it before with black rice or some of the other exotic rice, red rice. It just makes a different color.
Whatever your favorite rice
Correct.
you can use.
My favorite is jasmine. I think it smells great.
And of course, Costco has that.
Now, I stirred in the rice. I'm not really cooking the rice. I'm maybe toasting it a little bit. That will kind of jumpstart the rice cooking process, but I think it imbibes a nice color as well. But, you know, the key to this is that you don't mess around with it too much. You just let it sit there for a second.
So there's the stock.
Right. Here's the leftover stock parts. See, here's the turkey in there, right? You could pick the extra meat off there if you really, really want to.
I remember that Grandma used to take this and feed the birds with it.
She did. She did. Now, here is the stock. And remember we put in 16, we filled the pot up to 16 level. That was 16 cups. Of course, there was volume that was taken up by the bones and such. So it looks like we've got little under 3 quarts of stock. This is stock that is unseasoned. I have not yet added any salt or anything like that. Okay, now we go back to the pot. Maybe to give it one more stir, make sure nothing's sticking. Okay. And then I add the stock. It's still hot. I just dump the whole shebang in. Whole thing, and look at us. Back up to the 15 line mark.
Wow.
Here. Now I'm going to stir it around. That's already hot. It won't take long for it to come to boil. We have the rice, the onions, and the cut turkey with the stock in there. At this time, you can also add some peanuts. I'm not even measuring. Look at me. A couple handfuls worth. 1, 2 handfuls of peanuts. Okay, if those are peanut sensitive or dislike, you don't have to add them, but they add some really nice flavor and some textural interest. Just like this. This is called fujuk, or dried bean curd, and it's really hard and dry and kind of sharp, so you want to be careful as you just kind of like crack it in there. And that's gonna hydrate.
Now, where do you get that?
I got this at a Chinese mart up here in the Pacific Northwest, but I suspect you can order it online as well. And you add this to what you want. It comes in a pretty big package. You get a whole bunch of it, and it's shelf stable. So I keep it in my pantry, and I added what, maybe 2 sticks worth. Give that again a stir, and that's going to add some textural interest to our jook.
Plus the nutrition. Because that's bean curd, right?
Tofu.
Tofu, yeah, it's
Yep.
tofu. Yeah.
Okay, so now close the lid, lock it, ensure pressure valve is set to lock. Okay, and then now to high pressure. "75 minutes. Jook in 75 minutes.
And you can
Now,
walk away from
Exactly right. This is a very common dinner that I make for my family. I maybe get this all ready, set it to go, and then go run out errands, and maybe go study some Taekwondo, Come back, dinner's ready.
Fantastic. And it's delicious too. Those of you out there who haven't had a chance to try the Jook are in for a real treat. And this is also available on cruise ships. They call it congee.
Here's the reveal. So, here's the Jook. Look at all the peanuts and
The food
the
Jook.
tofu.
The food
Jook is in there. Now, my family, we like this pretty thick. But some people might not that. This is actually a little too thick. So I actually have some extra broth, probably about another couple cups worth or what have you. And you can stir that in to your desired consistency. Right? And this is so hot, it's actually going to just warm that broth right on up.
And so how hearty is this?
Pretty hearty. This is exactly perfect for a cold winter night, eating it by a fire. Yum.
Now, would you add anything to taste? Like,
Exactly right.
Would you add soy sauce or sriracha
Yep,
maybe?
you can add some soy. Actually, this is a vehicle for anything that you want. So later on, we're going to show you how you can add some condiments, such as scallions and cilantro, soy sauce. Some people even add those crispy fried onion bits, or even potato chips. You can actually add whatever you want to it.
You know, Jook is actually one of the real joys of life. So here are some condiments of choice for the Jook. What we have here, we have chung choy, which is really salted turnips. And then we have green onions, finely diced parsley. And here we have
Fried onions.
fried onions. Now we have a choice of putting in some nice soy sauce and then pepper to taste. So there's the flow, and here comes the Jook.
All right, we're gonna have lunch or dinner now, so please don't grab your switch.
Here's the Jook, the condiments, and then there we go. And here's banana nut bread being made, but that's for another video. The banana bread is done, coming out of the convection oven, and look at that, beautiful banana bread loaf. Is it good? It's cold outside, but in here it's nice and warm, and the food is so good. Dinner's on, everybody.
You're getting some salted turnip. And the green onions. Some parsley. You could also use cilantro there if you like that. And here are some of those fried onions.
And you can't forget some of this nice mushroom soy sauce. Fantastic. Thank you so much for making this.
Remember guys, food is life, so cook like you mean it. See you next time.